All right. We are here in Star Citizen today. Some of you didn't realize I actually play Star Citizen, but we are here and we're going to go ahead and we're just going to goof around a little bit, see what happens. Adventures of Rio in space, that kind of thing. But it's Star Citizen is interesting. It's different. It's very different. Um, I wouldn't say there's anything quite like this out there right now. Um, I'm just going back to my days with Sony and Star Wars Galaxies, and I'm thinking that, man, if Star Wars Galaxies had been half the game that this is, with the quality graphics and the interactions and things, then man, we would have been a much stronger state for a long, long time. I feel like we kind of got robbed on Star Wars Galaxies in that if we had kept up with the technology, we would have been, I mean, it would have been a powerhouse in the MMO scene still. So, but Star Citizen is fantastic. I love it. Um, there are things I don't like about it, but there are a lot of things I do like. Like when you've got friends that you can run around with. Like we went out last night and we did a bunch of the unverified mercenary missions, which there are things called crime stats. If I go to my Moby Glass, which is you're going to hear people say, pull up the Moby MOBI. This is the Moby Glass. All right, and it kind of gives you a rundown of different things on your character. Like right now, I'm at the home screen. You got health. You can look and you can see there's your health, there's your water, hunger. All right, then you've got comms where you can actually hail friends and you can actually talk to them in voice in game if you want. I don't use the in game voice because I find it annoying. Um, Plus the fact that we're always on Discord anyways, right? So who really needs the voice anyways? Although maybe they're thinking ahead on this. I mean, these are some pretty smart cookies in Star Citizen development. And maybe they know something we don't. With all the things happening with Discord and, oh, yeah, we're going to put age verification in and all that other stuff. I guess it makes sense that you'd want to make sure that your game supports voice just in case. So, I mean, it is what it is. But you can come over here to friends. You can look at all your friends. There's pending invites. And then, of course, you can come over here and you can search for members. Like if you got a buddy and you don't have them on your friend list yet, you can look them up here and then you can add them. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty interesting thing. I mean, I like it, but then again, it's me. I'm not really that hard to satisfy when it comes to gaming. One of the things that I do like is that as an individual, and you will feel like you're, I guess, invested in the character that you make. Um, I will say that it's very nice. I mean, I can just talk forever about Star Citizen, but it's very nice that there's no permadeath. There's no losing your ship forever right now. So, and you can get insurance later on, like at 1.0 when it finally does hit 1.0. I'm guessing about 3 years from now it'll actually hit 1.0. They're steadily pumping out uh, patches and things. Like every month there's something new that's happening, but for the most part, I just don't see it hitting uh, 1.0. Not yet. There's still some significant issues. Like they still have a rework of the transit system that they're doing. They're redoing the whole transit system, the shuttles, the spaceports, the trams. All that stuff is getting changed. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. And plus, you have to remember that the verse is a big place. I mean, literally, if you look at maps, this is just the hangar I'm sitting in. All right. Oh, went out too far. That's the planet that I'm on. I'm on Hurston right now, and I'm actually above it at Everus Harbor. But there's also dozens and dozens and dozens of places on the planet that you can land on. And of course, this is just the general like area around Hurston. Like if you come further out, You can see that there's, different stations and stuff that you can go to. And if you go further out, you can see that there's, even further stations and even further stations until you get to the gateways. And these gateways all lead to other sections of the galaxy, or maybe I would consider them other solar systems. So you've got your Terra gateway, you've got Nix, you've got Stanton, which is I think where we're at now. We're in Stanton, yeah. And you got Pyro. So and that's just the beginning. So, and believe me when I tell you that if you get out here in space, you will see other traffic, but it won't be crowded by any stretch. And there will be times when you're just out there all alone. And the planets are huge. Literally, if you land on a planet, yeah. Just be careful which planet you land on, because, oh my God, you can get out on a planet and then find out that it's like 300 degrees, and you're burning up in your suit. So, there are things that you need to be careful of. And there's a lot of different tiers and levels to Star Citizen. Like, for instance, they just added the crafting patch. It's the beginning patch to crafting at 4.7, right? So this is just the beginning, just the very tip of that crafting. Okay. There's going to be probably different specializations within the crafting. Like, I would imagine you're probably going to be able to be a shipwright. You're probably going to be able to be a weaponsmith, an armor smith, a gadget smith, all that stuff. Then you've got, in addition to crafting, you've got mining, which you can go out and you can mine rocks using a prospector or a mole or whatever you've got for a mining ship. And there's a lot of advanced concept in there, and there's a lot of things that you have to know and understand. And believe me when I tell you, you don't want to overheat any rocks out there in space, because it's bad. So it takes a little bit of feathering of the meters and things to get the mining just right and making sure you don't blow anything up. There's salvaging. Salvaging is also, I find it satisfying, but I don't find it to be lucrative. I'm sure if you got the right contractor, you found a ship out there while you're salvaging and it just happened to have a bunch of cargo on it, that'd be great. But, unless you're flying around in a cargo hauler, you're not really going to be able to get much out of it. Like, how do I explain this? I have, excuse me, a Zeus, Mark II, I think it is. And it can haul, I think it's 128 SCU, which is like your standard qubit unit, or cargo unit. It's a certain amount that's packed into like one container or two containers, that kind of thing. So each container, each one CU, or I think it's 2 CU actually, but each container contains a certain amount of resources or whatever you're going to put in them. So you can pack a lot into a Zeus, but not as much as you can into a C2. I have a C2 as well. The C2 is huge. When I say huge, it's huge. So, but I'm going to pull out the Zeus because I'm going to try to do a couple of small cargo haulings maybe. I don't expect that I'll do a lot today, but I'm going to try to do something. I don't want a crime stat today, at least not until I've got a group around me, because one of the things about crime stat is that once you're out there in the verse and you get the crime stat, if it's higher than a 2, you start getting put on like a bounty board so people can come hunt you down. And yeah, if you get to, I think, crime stat 3, you can't pay it off. So you actually have to go serve prison time, which is several hours in game. One of the things I don't like about that is I don't like that. 3 hours is a lot for a crime stat 3, especially since it's real world time, right? So you're not sitting in there for, 3 hours game time or whatever. You're sitting in there 3 real hours. I was in there last night 3 hours and 10 minutes and got up in the morning. Thankfully, it does tick down while you're offline. So I just logged off and went to bed. But yeah, that can be very bad. You don't want to get a crime stat if you can help it. But there are a couple different ways to make money, one of which is the cargo hauling. I think cargo hauling is probably the easiest, but oh look, my ship just disappeared. I wonder where it went. Well, okay. I guess we're putting it back down and we're going to try again. Like I said, it's still buggy, but I don't want to. This isn't like a tutorial video, right? So I'm not trying to teach you how to play, but I am kind of showing you a couple of things. But let's get back to it. All right, so cargo hauling is probably the easiest, right? You take the initial missions, get yourself a small cargo hauler. Typically, you can just go to the rental place and you can rent like a Zeus or something like that.
Please visit us again.
Let's see, look, it didn't even go back down. So okay.
To the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
All right, let's try this again. We'll bring it back up.
Visit us again.
But yeah, I mean, what was I saying? Oh, cargo hauling. Cargo hauling is probably the easiest. You start out with a couple of starter missions. You get yourself a little Zeus or something, and or you can even do like the Nomad. You go up to Teach's ship shop. I think there's one in Everus. You go up to the top floor of that, and just take the elevator up, and pick yourself up like a Nomad or something, and it give you a little bit of space. And then you can just do the starter missions. Now, my recommendation, though, if you're going to cargo haul, is to avoid doing any of the big ones in a big ship. So until you get to large shipments where you're doing, a couple thousand, you really don't need to use the big ships. You can stick with the Nomad up until medium, and then take the money that you bought or the money that you got from those missions, and then apply it towards a Zeus, which will give you enough to do the medium. But yeah, that's one of the many ways you can make money. You can also salvage to make money. You can go salvage like different ship parts off of ships, or you can basically scrape them. You use this like it's not a disintegration ray at first, but there's like a scraper, some sort of ray that you have to zap the ship with. And once you zap it, you peel off all the materials, and then you can disintegrate the debris or the ship after you've gotten it down far enough, and then you can actually salvage off of that. So you're just taking like broken ships, and you're just taking all the parts off of them and all that, and then you're putting them in your ship. For the most part, though, if you're like in a Vulture or something, you don't really have the cargo hold for that, so you're just going to go ahead and just scrape the materials and all that stuff. That's interesting. The hangar is completely bugged. I might have to get out of here because it seems to be a problem for this hangar. Maybe a different hangar. Oh, look, it just decided to work. All right, but anyways, so you can use the salvaging to do that. That's one way of making money. I will say that if you're going to salvage and you're going to find ships that actually have a cargo hold, you want to check them. You might want to actually, if it's like a medium ship, go to the back of it, open it up, and see if there's any shipments of SCUs in there, like any kind of crates. You can also take weapons and different modules out of them and stuff. So there's a lot of ways to make money that way. But if we've got cargo hauling, we've got mining, we've got salvaging. Then of course there's other things. You can do bounty hunter missions, you can do mercenary missions. I mean, literally, it's almost like there's something for everybody. You don't have to. What the hell's going on here? What's going on? Why are you down there? There we go. Clearly they're having problems with the hangars today. All right. And it's gone again. Good Lord. This is usually not a problem. I know they said they were working on hangars. I just can't believe how bad it is.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility.
Let's
Please
just go
visit
ahead
us
and
again.
restore it. We're going to
Goodbye.
come out of here and we're going to try a different hangar. All right. But as I was saying, there's a lot of different jobs and things you can do to make money. Now, granted, there's also a reputation system, so something to think about. All right, we're gonna go back to the lobby because, oh my god, oh man. All right,
Welcome to the
there's a
ASOC
lot of
vehicle
people having
retrieval
trouble
system.
today, which means they got to be doing something.
Vehicle selected. Stand
Let's
by.
just do
Your
this.
vehicle has been delivered to
No, we
please
can't
visit
really
us
do
again.
that, can we?
Goodbye.
Those are the only two ships I have
Your
over here.
vehicle has
Well,
been
I guess we
delivered
can
to
just,
please visit us again.
yeah, we'll go through that. Let me go ahead and grab like a vulture.
Your insurance claim has been sent. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Your insurance claim has been sent. Thank you.
There we
Please
go.
visit us
I
again.
paid the expedite fee, so 2 minutes. So while we're sitting here, let's just go ahead and pop this up. So let's take a look at some of the other things you can do. So you got collection, right? So you can come over here. All right, he wants Vestal water, and he wants Tundra Kaplan horn, which means you got to go shoot something. All right. Let's see what this one is. This one is Ranta dung. So you got to go find like animal crap. All right, and then you just take it back. But these are timed, obviously. You can see it right here, 32 minutes and 14 minutes. But we wouldn't want to do that. There's mercenary work. So what's this guy wanting? If you're looking for work in the system, we can help, blah, blah, blah. So if you accept that, you have to secure a remote outpost near Yang's place on Pyro 2. So basically, you have to go down to this bunker or this outpost. You have to land outside of it, approach it, kill all the outlaws, and then resecure it. All right. Then you got, let's see, what's this one? Monitoring a situation in Hurston regarding uptick of Copland population over the past few months. Our models indicate that this continues. Many of the native plants and animals will be adversely affected. So you go on a hunting expedition, basically. But you can also haul. There's the Stellar Haul. All right, this one is Hurston's Lagrange Point. And you have to go from Everus Harbor. So this is all within the system. Stellar is within the system. And you have to unlock like I said, you have to unlock it. So you'll have to get like the first Kovalex, contract missions. Do those. You'll get like, I don't know, something really cheap. But it's really easy too, so no big deal. And then you can start picking up all these 50Ks, but you want to try to get ones that are like within the same location. Like if you're going to go from Everus Harbor to Hurston, you want to like get Teasa airports or, stuff like that. I don't like to take multiples because you have to keep this stuff separated so that you know exactly what you're taking. Like in this particular situation, it'd be fine because it's 4 SCUs of waste, and you're taking it to Everus Harbor, which is where we're at right now from Hurston. And then this is the Hurston locations, her L1. So that means you'd have to go to these two different locations within the sector, pick the stuff up, so probably 2 from each or whatever, and then take them over here to Everus Harbor. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do in that. But let's go ahead and close that one out. You got hand mining. This one is dangerous. I'm not even going to lie. It's a little confusing. I'm still learning how to do it, but I had managed to do it a little bit. enough to get like the Shubin missions done, so that we can get into these. I guess they're QV stations or whatever, the new stations, which are PVE and PvP places where you can go in and you can raid it and get gear and stuff. But hand mining is something that I would definitely watch a tutorial on. Then you got your salvage missions. Again, there'll be some like dinky little, rep missions where you have to take them and then before you can get to these. And then, of course, there's not a whole lot here. Like there's one. Deliver 4 quantum drive S1s to High Core Station at Hurston's L5 Lagrange Point, and 4 power plants. So basically you'd have to fly around to the different markers, salvage the stuff off of the ships that you get, bring it back. And this one, yeah, you're going to need a relatively large ship. I don't know if you'd be able to get... I don't know how big the quantum drives and the power plants are. I'm assuming that they're probably smaller modules, so it's not like it's going to fill up like a Zeus, but still, could be a little bit dangerous. So you might need to get a bigger ship for some of this. All right, so you've got investigations, which, as you can see, there are things you can do here. You go to the Onyx facility, access the research lab's personnel files, so you can overview what was going on there. So it's kind of like it's almost like espionage, corporate espionage. You're going in there to figure out, what they were doing at this lab. So you got stuff like that you can do. You got hauling. Hauling is the cargo hauling. All right, so you can collect shipped ammunition from High Core Station, deliver it to Teasa, which is in Laurelville, which is in Stanton. You got this one here, Sunset Mesa, Pyro 2. But again, like I said, there's a lot of stuff here. And you have to collect from here and here and here and here, and then deliver here. Or not even that, actually. Not even that. You have to deliver it, collect stems from
Let me tell you,
Cantwell,
I got things happening.
processed food from
Kind of
Thetis,
an irregular guy until
and
legend,
distilled spirits
you know
from
what I mean?
Ruptured LLP. So, you got to go 3 different places to get this stuff. I try to skip that. I don't like having to go to multiple places just to grab this stuff to deliver elsewhere. I want to get it all in one place and just take it. There's your ship mining. All right, you got to go out and got to get iron, quartz, and copper, and then you deliver them to Hadley. That's not so bad. You can grab a prospector for really cheap. Just make sure you kind of follow the guide. There's a nice guide online for cargo hauling, or for mining, actually. The guy's got kind of a thick accent, but it's a really good video. Maybe in the future I'll post the link to that, but you can just search it in Google or in YouTube and you'll find it. Bounty hunter missions. This is planetary. This means you're going to go from some station somewhere and you're going to fly like cargo down to the planet itself. So this is the station that I'm in now, above the planet, Everus Harbor. Deliver 11 SCU of quartz to Sakura Sun Magnolia Work Center in Hurston, which is on the planet. So all you would have to do is basically go to your freight elevator after you accept this, bring it up, load it onto your ship, fly it down there, and drop it off in the freight elevator. You have to do that too. But I'm sure as I get to recording that part, you'll see all that. So, but yeah, there's lots of different things here. And as you can see, there's rookie ranks, junior ranks, and all of this contributes to your reputation, which gets you more missions and higher paying missions. So good to know. What else is there here? Oh, and then there's the PvP missions. Yep. See, he's got a bounty on him. Mr. Lifer. They are known to be particularly elusive. You might have your work cut out for you. Okay, yeah, well, we're not doing any of that. PvP in Star Citizen is extremely difficult. Because a lot of these guys have spent, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, on some really nice stuff for their ships and things like that. So you definitely don't want to be stuck doing anything like that because, yeah, you might end up biting off way more than you can chew. All right, we're going to retrieve. All right, it put it in a large hangar. I hope that's not the same hangar that the other one was in. Oh, look at this. That's not good. I think we'll go to the other one. We're having some serious issues today. But yeah. Well, we're gonna get in here. We're gonna goof off a little bit. Please don't fall. All right, there we go. All right, there's my large hangar. There's my my vulture. That's the Drake vulture. That's a scavenging ship. We're gonna see if maybe I can store this now and pull out my Zeus and do a couple cargo runs.
Your vehicle has been moved. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
But yeah, there's some definite issues today. I mean, there were last night, but they weren't half as bad. Like I'd avoid Levski for at least a couple more days. Make sure my health is all right. I don't want to get out here and find out I'm out of anything here. Yep, good. There's the inventory system. I've got plenty of crews left on me, so I'm not going to run out of things to drink. Got plenty of ammo. Everything else is good. Alright. Alright. Let's try this Zeus again. Come on, baby.
Your vehicle, please visit us again. Goodbye.
I need you to come up so I can go ahead and get loaded up here. Hopefully it doesn't vanish again. We'll see. This has been a great little cargo hauler. I really like the Zeus, and it's kind of cool inside of it. So, see what happens when the lights come back on. Oh, look, it stayed. Hopefully I don't fall through the hangar or anything, because there's been some wonky stuff going on here. Quick tour of the Zeus. This is an absolutely fantastic ship. I love this ship. You got your fire extinguisher in case you get shot up and you need to put out any fires. Should be I think there's a couple more in here too. This is your little mess area. So you got like a counter, but no utilities. I don't even have a coffee pot. I mean, every ship should have a coffee pot. These are storage lockers. You can put stuff in here. I will say that if you do put stuff in your ship and your ship gets blown up and you have to reclaim it, you lose everything in these. So right now I'm not using them because of that very reason. They are planning like 3 or 4 tiers of insurance, right? Later on in the development. where you'll be able to invest in a certain amount of insurance so that things don't disappear. Personally, I think the idea of insurance, while it has merit, I think it can be more of a pain in the butt than it's worth, but that's just my opinion. But you got bunks here for your crew, which is kind of cool. Little storage area up here. And you got the actual... Oh, this is the engineering. That's a way down. Like, say you want to go somewhere. You don't have to go up the cargo loading ramp, because a lot of times you're going to have that thing full. So you can get, up and down there. This is your engineering terminal. I haven't played with this much, but there are certain things you can do in here. Like, you can turn things on and off, that kind of thing. But it kind of shows you where everything is. This is a docking, basically an airlock for docking. So on some stations, you might be told that you need to go to like a side airlock where you have to kind of fly up against it. When you fly up to it, and then you kind of, I guess, move into position. And then it puts it, kind of like the space shuttle, right? So when the space shuttle goes up to the ISS, it has to get close. It maneuvers side by side with it. The docking terminal extends, and then once the seal is nice and tight against the station, they open up the airlocks and you walk through back and forth. Yeah, so it's that kind of thing. But these are suit lockers, so you can put your suits in here. Again, like I said, though, don't leave anything in your ship, because if you get blown up, and you probably will, you'll lose everything in the ship. We got the cockpit. We've got a gunner seat. We've got co-pilot, and of course we've got the pilot seat. Now for this particular thing, since we're going to get some cargo and we're going to move it, let me go ahead and I'm going to close this real quick. We're going to maneuver into position so that we're backed up to the freight elevator, because believe me, you don't want to have to try to move stuff all over your hangar to get it into position to put in the back. Alright, so I'll pop into the seat here. Now, by default, you see that we're looking straight ahead, right? We don't have a real good view. We can't just look around unless we hold C, and then we can kind of look right and left. There's a freight elevator on this side, and then there's one on that side. So the easiest way I've seen to do it is to hit F4, lift off, rotate around until you're facing this wall. Of course, even out so you're not going to crash or anything. And then you just, I'm hitting A to come over, unless you've got a controller, you have to use keyboard. Oh. It's very sensitive, so let me see here. Alright, we're going to just drop down. Alright, that should be good. Turn off the power. Don't leave your engines on inside the hangar. It's kind of an unsaid rule, because I guess in the beginning or earlier stages of development, if you left your engines on in the hangar, the ship would sometimes bounce around and fly straight up to the ceiling of the hangar, then you couldn't access it anymore and it was just stuck there. So I turned my engines off. Alright, now we got a pretty good view of this. Now your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these all do something different here. So 1 is my gun, because I have it assigned that way on my bar. 2 is my max lift. You want one of these. Make sure you go up to the cargo services in whatever station you're in and get yourself a max lift, what do they call it? A tractor beam gun. It's absolutely paramount. 3 is my med, or my medical device. So you can actually heal yourself, but you need cartridges for that. So, I mean, I'll show you the inventory again in a minute. 4 is your med pen. I have it set to med pen. Like I said, it depends on how it is in your inventory. Then you got 5. This is like a smaller tool. But mine is set up for actual mining and gathering, so you can't do the tractor beam on this one because it's got a module on it right now. Now, if you look at your inventory, you can see right here. There's my max. My max lift. There's my med gun, and then of course, if you come over here, you can see that I've got a pulverizer. That's my weapon, and this is the scope that's on it. This right here is my multi-tool, and the multi-tool has got a mining attachment on it. And if you come over here, there's a gadget place. You can put another gadget here if you want, like another gun. I'd recommend, if you're going to do that, do something like the actual tractor beam, the small handheld, or something of that state. And of course, this has got a mining attachment on it, and then a knife, and then yeah. But yeah, anyways, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab some cargo. All right, we're in Everus, so we're going to go ahead and grab a contract. It's just going to be hauler. Let's do planetary because that seems to be the safer bet. All right, so that's a 50K. It's going to Sun Magnolia in Hurston. Is there anything else going there? No, that's going to 2 places. We don't want that one. That's going to Teasa. That's a nice easy one. So we could grab that one. Let's grab that one. See if we have another one going to Teasa. Darn, that one would have been a good one. Oh, I hate the ones that deliver to 3 or 4 different places. That's a deliver to Teasa, but then there's a Farnway. I don't want to go to the Farnway one. All right, no. Delivered. There's one going to Teasa. All right, so that's not bad right there. We can grab that one too. So yeah, we'll grab that one. See if there's any more. We'll go to the bottom and work our way up. There's another one. I think that'll be good for now. I don't know how much space I have left after all that, so. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the freight elevator. Now here's the thing, you gotta be careful because you want to make sure you don't get these, like I'm gonna bring them up one at a time. Let's see, aluminum, geopods, storage container, that's my, alright, so not these. So it looks like scrap and aluminum. I think we'll be okay with that, but I'm worried about, I don't want to mix these up too much, so let's just go ahead and send it down. And let's just double check that just to make sure. Contracts accepted. That's aluminum. That's scrap. I didn't see any tin. Ah, there it is. And there's the tin. Okay, so we're going to move it all to the elevator. So tin, scrap, and aluminum. Move to the elevator. We're going to bring it up. Now, one of the reasons why you want that max lift, I'm about to show you guys. Okay, so if you use the regular hand one, you can't get the distance that you can on a max lift. So it's good to have the range. So I can just grab this, wheel in with the mouse. Alright, what do we got here? This is just scrap. So we're going to put this in here. Let's find a nice spot in the back here out of the way. Scrap. Alright, there we go. Nope, not that one. Bring the scrap in first. And some of these are timed. I don't know if any of these particular ones are, but we definitely don't want to have issues with that. So that is, again, that's scrap. You can get a loader, but they don't work real well. At least they weren't for me. Can't go any higher on that. So we'll just go ahead and put it in the back here. There we go. Alright, this should be... What is this? This is tin. Okay. Bring the tin in. Find a spot for it. Preferably not on my face. Alright, there we go. It's gonna be close. I'm almost out of space now. I don't know if I can get all that. Might have to make 2 trips. Or what I could do, matter of fact, let's do this. We're gonna change up what we're doing here. See how I was telling you about the space? Like, these are pretty massive boxes. Oh, just fell off the ramp. Alright, so we're going to get this out of here. We're going to put it back in the freight elevator for a minute. We're going to bring out the C2. Need the space. We're not going to get in here. These are big containers, much bigger than I thought. We definitely don't want to have problems with that. Come on. Put it back in here. Alright, make sure everything's out of here. It is. This in the center of the hangar. Bring it down. We'll pull out the C2. We're probably going to have to actually put the freight elevator down and go get into a different hangar. Because yeah, the C2 is enormous. So you guys are about to see the C2. This thing is a beast. All right, so we're going to go ahead and engines on. Closer to the edge here so I can just
landing complete. Engines
off out of the seat. It's good Lord. That is a lot. The hell's that doing up? There's the ladder I was telling you about. Alright, let's put this bad boy away. Actually, let's go to the freight elevator first. We're going to put it all back down until we're ready. Ah, the C2 is such a pain in the ass to maneuver. Okay, well, it is what it is. Alright, down you go. Oh, take a forever. Faster. Faster, man, faster. I know the C2's not going to fit in here. I think I need an extra large hangar for that. Well, it might. This is a large hangar. Guess we'll find out. Alright, down you go.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Okay. Everything's good.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle
Well,
retrieval
welcome to the
system.
C2. Dang
Please
it.
visit us again.
Sometimes the thing doesn't
Goodbye.
actually work. Alright, let's
Vehicle,
retrieve it.
please visit us again. Goodbye.
See if this will come up. I'm hoping. It's a massive ship, though. I mean, it really is. I mean, we're talking beast mode. And this isn't even the biggest ship. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to run up here, we're going to go ahead and jump in the ship, maneuver it a little bit, see if we can get it turned left a little bit so that we're aimed at the thing. Could have swore there was a button on this. There it is. The elevator. Up we go. I'm going to give you a tour of this. You guys, I don't want to spoil it for you because, man, most of the fun of this was going in here and figuring out everything. Okay, now let's see. There we go. As you can see, there's barely any visibility at all. It's such a big ass ship. All right, let's power it up.
Crusader Industries, a journey worth taking. Systems on. Launch complete.
All right, the whole purpose of this is to carefully there. Set it back down. Power off. F4. Out of the seat. I have to remember how to get down to that level. I don't think I can get down this way. That's right. I gotta go down. Oh, such a pain. Down to the lower deck. Hello? Lower deck. There we go. Now we're in the cargo hold. Alright. Now the panels are usually on this side. Yep, there it is. Like I said, this is a big beast. Okay. Let's go retrieve our freight again. We got lots of it. What was that? No. Alright. We're gonna bring this down. Killed a lot of time doing that. Let's make sure there's no times on this. Contracts. Yeah, there is, but I still got plenty of time. Yeah, no big deal. Alright. Alright, we're gonna grab all of this. Make sure we get it all. We don't want to leave anything behind because you won't get full credit for your whatchamacall. I don't think there's anything else. That's a geopod. That's actually for, it's a small box for storage, right? You can put it in your loaders or whatever, your miners. And then you've got the store all, which is an 8 SCU box, which holds a lot of stuff. So say you go out and you find a base that you want to raid. You go in there, you find a bunch of boxes. You don't have enough inventory space because your backpack is a medium backpack or a light backpack. So you need a big backpack and you need a lot of space to put all your loot in. So you'll be going back and forth to your ship, dropping all the stuff off in the box, going back out for more. So, yeah, just putting it out there. But we got everything selected. We're good. We'll move it to the elevator. Let's bring it up. Let's get started on that. I really love this ship, but man, it's a pain in the ass. Oh, okay, let's not shoot it. Not what we wanted. Now be careful when you're doing this too, because you can smack yourself in the face with the box and it'll knock you over, possibly worse. Is there a spot right here? There is. Alright, just want to make sure I knew where my limits were. We're not going to go all the way back because there's no point. But we are going to organize it well so that we don't have any issues. This is more tin. You want to try to get things at the front of the ship, or the the front of your ramp and stuff. That way, so you got to be careful on that too. That way it's quicker to get it off the ship. Oh, ooh, just broke it. And you can position too, so say you've got something that won't fit correct, you can hold R and you can rotate it around using your mouse. Which I kind of like, but that one's stuck between something. Grab that. That's just scrap. Good, not that close. I want to smack myself in the face. And you will, repeatedly. Believe me, I've done it so many times. Yeah, and if you ever run with a group, especially if you're with Steel Horse, be careful because you're going to get smacked with crates. That's a guaranteed going to happen. I wonder if I can bring that up higher and stack it. It's the same size? Yes, the same size. Alright. That's another 10. That's a 10. That other stuff might all be aluminum. I don't know. I won't know until I get it in here, but... Are you not lining up? There we go. Let's grab the small stuff. That's more tin. Interesting how they kind of put these in different size containers when they probably could have just optimized it to where you're only using one, but that's my opinion. So now we're going to rotate it, drop it down right here. That's aluminum. It's all going to the same place, so it doesn't really matter if you separate on this particular mission, because it's all going to Teasa and it's all going practically the same place. I prefer to keep things organized, light. There, you can see now. Right, there we go. But in this particular situation, I'm just trying to hustle because only got 50 minutes. Probably spent 10 of it just goofing off trying to get the right ship for the job. Organization is always key, though. Because like I said, you might have 3 different deliveries in 3 different locations. You can all pick it all up here, and then you're like, oh god, yeah, I gotta go here, and I gotta go here. And where did I do with my aluminum, and where's my scrap at? Yeah, you don't want to have to do all that. So keep it organized when you're loading. Got one more of those and then the big boxes and then we're done. Then it's off to the races. Your biggest concern is going to be getting out of here without getting killed by somebody. Pirates, other players, pirates, that kind of thing. Because they're going to see your cargo and be like, hey, look, there's money right there. Granted, the C2 is just a screaming target. So you have to kind of watch that. As much as it sucks. People see the C2 and they're like, ooh, money. Believe me when I tell you, it sucks. Because, yeah, there's no getting away from anybody in a C2. It's one of those Bend over and kiss your own butt goodbye because you're about to get smoked. What the hell's going on here? Yes, I know it's grueling and I know it's slow. Sorry. You know what? For, I don't know, what, 300K I think it was? I'd have to add it all up, but for that kind of money, I'm not complaining too much. Big box coming. Smack that one right down the middle. Right there. You guys better appreciate this crap, man, because Teasa is a big starport. All of this stuff is a pain in the butt, loading it. But, like I said, it's an easy way to make money, and it's not hard to do. What the hell's going on here? Why are you not snapping? It's weird. Just didn't like where I was putting it. But I'm trying to make my own money because, I mean, I got buddies that I play with and they have been throwing a lot of credits at me. But I feel bad about it, you know. But then again, I'm helping out with the mining and stuff, and he's making plenty of profit off of that, so. Plus, we're going to be doing, like, other things, too, so. Really? Cargo grid's a little funky. Alright, double check, make sure we got everything out of here, and if we do, we're off and running. See nothing else in there. We're good to go. We'll send that back down. Should be able to walk through here still. Yeah. Alright, good. Go. Alright, there's our elevator back up. Come on. There we go. Come on. There you go. Yeah, don't stand in the doorway because you could get smushed by the elevator and you will die. Alright. Had that happen to me once too. And now for the misadventures of Rio. We're going to actually try to get this to where it needs to go. Unload. And then I'll end the video with just a quick kind of an overview of everything and show everybody the inside of this ship because I love this ship, even though it's a pain in the ass to maneuver.
Engines on. Launch complete. Landing complete.
Okay. Move over a little bit so we're nice and even here and it's straight ahead. Okay, we're gonna hit Alt F or Alt N. Request clearance. Now, for this ship, I wait until the doors are completely open, and I recommend anybody that's got a big ship, you might want to do that. Because believe me when I tell you, you don't want to get stuck or hit anything, because it all matters. You'll take damage, you could blow up, that kind of thing. Alright, now we're going to ease this thing out very gently. Alright, we're out. Landing gear up.
Landing gear up.
Get away from the station. Hopefully we don't get blown up. I go into quantum.
Off.
Obviously, we need to go down there, as you can see by the marker. We're also keeping an eye on our radar, making sure we're not getting any locks on us. If you want to see that's what it looks like. It's a pretty wicked looking ship. I like it. Get a little closer, I'll drop out and we can fly the rest of the way with shields up, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. There doesn't seem to be anybody messing with us. All right. Why did it say collect a shipment? I don't like that. Might have taken one that's going or collecting from a different place. I thought it was all coming from the same place. Looking for the flashy lights. See these things right in front of me? That's what we're looking for. You get closer, we'll drop out of quantum. Yep, right there.
Shields on.
See how the screen's getting all kind of blurry? It's rain in the atmosphere. Bust a hangar.
There is a hangar available.
Oh, it's nice. I like to ping, make sure there's nothing out here, like I didn't see that tower until the last second. That would have been bad.
Landing gear down.
There's our hangar.
Alert.
Like to get right. Yeah, I know.
Landing complete.
Complete.
Okay. Freight in there, freight in there.
Launch complete. Landing complete. Engines off.
Let's go see what we got here. While we're waiting on that contract, just want to check. Yeah, Teasa Spaceport from Everus. Collect 10 from Everus. And scrap from Everus. Yeah. I don't know why it was saying that. That was weird. It's almost like it didn't register that I took something. Everything's a little bit buggy, but it could be user error as well. I don't know. I'm still new. I mean, I've had this since like 9 years ago I bought it. and I just hadn't really played with it because it was really rough when I bought it. So it's very possible that I've screwed something up somehow. Alright, that freight elevator is actually open. That's good. Once you're in your hangar, you're pretty much safe. Short of like weird bugs, but you know. So you don't have much to worry about here. But it's pretty much the same process over and over and over. Think American Truck Simulator. It's the same thing, you know, you're hauling cargo. And then just for organization, I'm going to bring this back further into the freight elevator. There ain't a lot there, but there's enough to where I don't want to have to pile it in and hope for the best. Alright. There we go. My buddy Swabby and Steel Horse and Tally and all them guys would be proud of me out here doing this by myself. I don't usually solo play, but when I do, this is what I'm doing. I thought about doing bounties, but I don't have a really good fighter, and that's kind of a requirement. You don't want to go out there and potentially be fighting an Idris or something, which is a giant capital ship that would just wreck you. And you don't want to go against a Hornet with like an Aurora. Not with a regular one anyways. Alright, the big boxes are all but done. A couple more smaller, well, I guess smaller ones after this, but go ahead and get these all in here. It's all about how you want to do it here. I like to do things with some organization because, yeah. And it takes a little longer, and depending on what it is and how mission critical it is to get it there fast, is how much time you're going to spend messing with it. Can't mess, I can't do that. Move this yet? Nope. Too much stuff in the way. There we go. Poor ramp is getting scratched all up. Not gonna lie though, man, the criminal missions we did last night were fun. But again, you get a crime stat, then you get penalized, and it's the punishment. I mean, obviously it's a persistent universe, so I mean you're supposed to have law and order. But God, man, 3 hours. That's a long time. So if you get the crime stat up to 3, you might as well just log off and go do something else for a couple hours. Come back later. Oh, I hate doing this. Okay, here we go. crate decided to go flying. Like I said, we're not trying to be super organized on the way because we're under a time limit, but these don't really matter so much. Just drop them anywhere. Do, 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 do. Almost done. Double check, make sure there's nothing sitting in the back. It's all gone. Alright. Whoa. Send this down. We'll see what we got here. Alright, so what do we got? We got... Looks like we got it all. I don't see any grayed outs. Confirm. I made a little cha-ching on that. Not the greatest though, because I mean you don't make a butt ton. At least not yet. Not until you get better rep. Once you get better rep, you get better stuff. You get better prices and things. But hey, 935, that's not bad. So 5,000 or 50,000. There's one. 37,250. There's two. I think there was three, so I don't know, maybe the other one popped up while I was talking. But let's go ahead and take a look. Contracts accepted. They're all done. And there was all three. Yeah. So mission accomplished. So 150,000 altogether. Now we'll just close this up. We'll go over here and I'll show you a little bit about the ship. So as you saw, this is an elevator. This part opens up too. So I can actually open this up. and it dips down, allowing you to load from both ends. So say you've got, you know, multiple orders and they won't fit in one elevator, you can always go from this side too. It's kind of cool. I like that. I love this ship, but man, you're just a flying target. Seems like everybody and their brother wants to kill you when you're in this. Alright, so what do we got here? We got exit ship, we got top deck, then we've got the lower deck, which is what we're on. We're going to go up the top deck here real quick. I'll show you the different places. So obviously, now that's the back of the ship. Pretty sure there's nothing really to see back here, but crap, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Alright, so we got habitation. This is a bedroom for your crew. You even got, you know, desks and things. That's kind of cool. I think there's a light switch around here too, but you got your shower and your latrine. Close that. I could have swore there was a light switch. Huh. To figure out how to turn on the lights, probably in engineering. This is a ladder down. If you want to get in and out of the ship, you can do it that way. All right. Actually, I don't think you can get out. I think this goes down to the lower deck, though. It's right next to the elevator. We got modules here. This is your power plant. Not sure what that is. Looks important though, so let's not play with it. Alright. What's this? Oh, more modules. Oh, this is storage. Put guns and stuff in there. Kind of cool. Means this is an armory too, so on this side you can probably do the same thing. Yep. Hello? Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty decent. I like it. I think it's a cool ship. That's an armor thing, I think. They close. Okay. It should be like, there's usually a label or some sort of writing somewhere, let you know exactly what it is, but apparently, yeah. Not on this one. Gate pods. But pretty cool. Pretty cool. Any hoodles. That is a cargo hauling mission, and like I said, there is multi-levels to everything. You can go and you can do everything from bounty hunting, PvP, salvaging, mining, crafting if you want. I don't have a fabricator right now to do that with, but just a lot of stuff. The missions all have a potential to give you a blueprint, and the blueprints are used for crafting, which is new of 4.7. So you definitely want to make sure you take advantage of that, do your missions. Ultimately, in any video game, especially ones like this where there's a persistent universe or a persistent world, World of Warcraft does it, EverQuest did it, Lord of the Rings Online does it, Elder Scrolls Online does it. You know, all the MMOs do this, and that is to give you something to do to keep you playing and in the game. The more participation, the more successful the game's going to be. So you have to figure that everything you do, the rep grinds and everything else, and the mission grinds for money, all that stuff comes into play into the overall community. You know, it makes the whole thing come together. So at the end of the day, yes, it's a phenomenal waste of time if you're not really a gamer. You're not going to understand this anyways. But if you're a gamer, the more activities you have to do and the more things you can explore and new things you can find, the better, because it's going to keep you engaged and keep you immersed in the universe or into the world that you're in. I particularly find the mining and the cargo hauling to be the most fun, although mercenary work is fun too. The illegal stuff is fun. So, but it depends. You have to make friends here. You have to have a group. I mean, you can do solo stuff like I just did, the cargo hauling. But at the end of the day, if I had had a crew, a co-pilot, and maybe somebody in the back loading, and unloading, I could have expedited everything and been done a lot faster and moved on to the next mission and done even more. So something to think about is that you want to make friends, but you need to be honest with them. Don't come at them, for nefarious reasons. I mean, there's no reason to do that. If you're going to befriend somebody and have them, join your crew and help you, at least get to know them, and hopefully you'll trust them enough to not worry so much about things like, them coming in here and blowing up your ship or hangar or whatever, or maybe they're actually a bounty hunter and they're trying to get you. I mean, a lot of different things can happen, but enjoy it for what it is. And these are the adventures of Rio here in Star Citizen. So, and I'm probably going to have many more. I might stream this further at some point. I might not. I don't really stream as much as I used to anymore. I usually just record the videos, put them on YouTube, and that's pretty much what I'm going to do with this one. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up, store my ship, log out for a little bit, upload this video, and maybe I'll find something else to do today. I'm actually watching a couple other games that are supposed to be coming out, and I'd like to see for sure, like with Responding, what's going on with it. I want to give it a good evaluation and offer my, feedback and suggestions on how to improve or how to fix it. The guy that runs it, his name is Dyson's. It's a solo dev trying to put together a sandbox emergency services MMO. It's just a lot of work. I mean, I just get tired thinking about all the work that's going to have to go into this to actually make it successful. He's got a good base. It's actually coming along. There are some noticeable issues, AI glitches and performance issues and things like that. But from what I've seen so far, I mean, it looks promising. But is it promising? That's the question. It's going into early access. It's supposed to be in early access right now. It said in the month of March, but there was some sort of Steam technicality that they're having problems with. Therefore, they haven't been able to actually offer it to the Steam community yet. So hopefully we'll get some news on that and things will be ready to roll. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off now, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, you can like and subscribe if you want. I am not in this for monetary gain, so don't worry about any of that. I'm not going to charge you anything for it. There's not going to be any hidden fees or anything like that. But if you like my content, just let me know. Anyways, this is Rio from Unity Gaming Group, signing off.